So hello students, today is the continuation of the female reproductive system. So last class we have completed with anatomy. So now we are starting with menstrual cycle. So menstrual cycle, it is a series that is cyclic events occurring regularly in females for every 26 to 30 days throughout the childbearing period for about nearly 36 years. So the cycle, it consists of a series of changes that takes place concurrently in the ovaries and the uterine walls, stimulated by changes in the blood concentrations of the hormones. So hormones secreted in the cycle are regulated by negative feedback mechanisms. So hypothalamus will secrete the luteinizing hormone releasing hormone, which stimulates the anterior pituitary to secrete FSH and luteinizing hormone. So FSH will promote the maturation of the ovarian follicles and secretion of estrogen, leading to ovulation cycle. So maturation of the follicle and development of the corpus luteum. So luteinizing hormone, which triggers the ovulation, stimulates the development of the corpus luteum and secretion of the progesterone. So hypothalamus responds to change in the blood levels of the estrogen and progesterone is switched off. It is switched off by high levels of when stimulated when they are low. So average length of the menstrual cycle is about 28 days. There are 3 phases in the menstrual phase. The menstrual cycle. So what all they means? Menstrual phase about 4 days, proliferative phase about 10 days, and secretory phase about 14 days. Okay. So the 28 days is divided into 4, 10 and 14. So menstrual phase, when the ovum is not fertilized, the corpus luteum will start to degenerate. So this progesterone and estrogen levels will therefore fall, and the functional layer of the endometrium, which is dependent on high levels of these hormones, will be shed during menstruation, that is removed. So the menstrual flow, it consists of secretions from the endometrial glands, endometrial cells, blood from the broken down capillaries, and the unfertilized ovum. So high circulating levels of ovarian progesterone and estrogen will inhibit the anterior pituitary, blocking the release of FSH and LH, and the pregnancy occur, then rising the estrogen and progesterone levels. Thereafter prevent the maturation and release of another ovum. So after degeneration of the corpus luteum, however, falling levels of estrogen and progesterone lead to resumed anterior pituitary activity, raising the FSH levels and the initiation of the next cycle. So proliferative phase, at this stage an ovarian follicle will be stimulated by FSH, is growing towards the maturity and is producing estrogen. So estrogen will stimulate the proliferation of the functional layer of the endometrium in preparation for the reception of fertilized ovum. The endometrium will become thicker by rapid cell multiplication and accompanied by an increase in number of mucus secreting glands and blood capillaries. This phase will end when ovulation occurs and the estrogen production is declines. Next is the secretory phase. So immediately after ovulation, the lining of the ovarian follicle will be stimulated by luteinizing hormone to develop the corpus luteum, which produces progesterone and some estrogen. So under the influences of progesterone, the endometrium will become edematous, that is pulpy, and the secretory glands will produce increased amounts of watery mucus. This is believed to assist the passage of sperms through the uterus to the uterine tubes, where the ovum is usually fertilized. There is a similar increase in secretion of watery mucus by the glands of the uterine tubes and by the cervical gland, which lubricate the vagina. So the ovum may survive in a fertilizable form for nearly a very short time of about 8 hours only. The sperms deposited on the vagina during coitus or mating may be capable of fertilizing the ovum only for about 24 hours. This means the period in each cycle during which fertilization can occur is relatively very short in a month. So the time of ovulation can be determined by observing certain changes in the woman's body around this period. So changes in the cervical mucus from thick and dry in consistency to thin and elastic watery, it is detected, and in addition the body temperature may be raised in a small but measurable amount. It is immediately following the ovulation. So some women experience some degree of abdominal discomfort in the middle of the cycle, thought to correspond to rupture of the follicle and release of its content into the abdominal cavity. If the ovum is not fertilized, menstruation will occur and a new cycle will begin. If the ovum is fertilized, there is no breakdown of the endometrium or no menstrual outflow. The fertilized ovum or the zygote will travel through the uterine tube to the uterus, where it becomes embedded in the wall and produces human chorionic gonadotrophins, which is similar to anterior pituitary luteinizing hormone. This hormone will keep corpus luteum intact and enabling it to continue the secreting progesterone and estrogen for the first 3 to 4 months of the pregnancy, inhibiting the maturation of the further ovarian follicles. During that time, the placenta develops and produces estrogen, progesterone and gonadotrophins. So this is the diagrammatic explanation. So here a new ovarian follicle will containing the ovum is start developing. So this ovarian follicle is secreting estrogen. So this will lead to ovulation. So again after ovulation it is formed into corpus luteum. So this corpus luteum will mainly secrete progesterone. So if the pregnancy does not occur, it will be degenerated. Okay, so this is the uterus changes. So the normally menstrual flow, so the uterus before menstrual period, the uterine walls will be highly supplied with the blood vessels. So after menstrual the thickness will be reduced. So during proliferative state it will be slightly increased, and during the secretory phase it will be well grown for the receiving the fertilized ovum. Okay, so again it will be, so if it is not pregnant, so it will become again the menstrual time will starts. So this is the level of the hormones. Okay, so estrogen and progesterone during a menstrual cycle. Okay, so this is about female reproductive system, and next is the menopause. Okay, so menopause is nothing but it is usually occurs, that is a cessation or stoppage of the menstrual cycle. So menopause is usually occurs between age of 45 to 55 years, marking the end of the childbearing period. It may occur suddenly or over a period of years, sometimes as long as 10 years, and it causes change in sex hormones level, that is estrogen and progesterone levels. So the ovaries will gradually become less responsive to FSH and LH, and the ovulation and the menstrual cycle will become irregular. Eventually it will start to cease or stop. So several other phenomena can also occur during the same time, so which include short-term unpredictable vasodilation with flushing, sweating and palpitations, causing discomfort and disturbances to the normal sleep pattern. Shrinkage of the breast, axillary and pubic hair will become reduced or sparse. Atrophy of the sex organ, so the reduction in the sex organ size. Episodes of uncharacterized behavior like irritation, mood changes, gradual thinning of the skin. Loss of bone mass, which lead to osteoporosis. Slow increase in blood cholesterol levels that predisposes the postmenopausal women to cardiovascular diseases. Okay, so once the estrogen activity is decreased, so this will lead to increase in serious risk to females. So there will be similar changes after the bilateral irradiation or surgical removal of the ovaries. Okay, so if the ovaries are removed, then these type of effects can also be seen before the menopause itself. Okay, so with this we can stop our class today. Remaining we can see in the next class. Take care. Bye bye.